What's going on, people? Welcome to 137 Works, and I did it again. I caved in. I wasn't going to get it, particularly considering the bad reviews that it got after launch, but I got Forza 7. I basically wanted to do a first look and talk about a real issue that I've been having. That's basically the literal definition of unplayable, of basically a game-breaking issue. If I just drag it up here, I'll show you. So I've got my task manager open, and as you can see here on the memory, we are doing fine. I've only got 8 gigs of DDR3 RAM. It's Corsair 8 gigs. I can't remember the speed for the life of me now. But yeah, kind of using 5 gigs, kind of average. If we pop back in game, let's see what happens if I, let's say, go to my garage. I was going to say garage. I was watching the episode of H3H3 last night with, what's his face, the guy, Ty Lopez. Garage just stuck in my head. So let's say, for example, I just take my R32 even, and let's kind of just go and mess around and paint it. Let's just see what happens. So I have my particular colour that I like. It's this shade of purple, except it's like kind of luminescent, like this, like metallic, sort of. So, let's just try and make that happen, shall we? So, it's 85 as far as I remember. 85, 75 and 35 is the 137 Works purple. But let's see how long it takes for the issue at hand to come along. It's basically, I don't know why I'm giving some kind of big spoiler. It's essentially a memory leak. So what happens is the game, when you're customizing your car and doing body parts and God, it's so dark in this paint room. That's another problem. When you're looking at body parts and customizing paint jobs and looking through cars in the car menu, as well as just being fairly choppy and laggy, the game basically just has memory leak. So what happens now is, or what's going to happen now is, I'm going to go and try and do some upgrades or look around the upgrades section and stuff like that. Just kind of, it's not happening now because I think I closed everything else. I closed literally everything. I've literally only got the game, the bare essentials, GeForce Experience to record, or Shadowplay to record the gameplay, and Audacity running, and the task manager. Basically everything else is closed, so I've probably got a bit more RAM free, but I'm almost certain it will happen at some stage. It's very annoying. Oh no, not homologate. So I'm not even going to be doing anything here. I'm just going to kind of go through, and I will say, while I'm doing this, there is like a lag. So if I press the button, it might be hard to tell, but there is like a very small, like half a second delay there. That's very annoying. Oh, and there we go. There we go. So the game has crashed. It is an issue that they're aware of, but it's very, very annoying. The main purpose of kind of doing this first off test is because I just want to put that out there. If you're having issues, and I'll probably like title the video something like memory leak or something like that, I don't know. It's basically to confirm that you're not crazy. You see there my usage now, it's after being max sky high for all that time, which shouldn't typically be an issue, I don't think, or maybe it should. But yeah, it definitely reaches a certain point and then it just crashes out. So I'm going to reload the game. Yeah, it's actually just to let you know that, first of all, before we talk about anything to do with the game itself, the issue with the memory leaks is a common thing. That's what it's known. They know what the story is. They're going to put out a fix for it, hopefully. Just annoying. It's just really annoying. Like, considering half the game is literally building your cars and tuning them. Like, that half the fun is like to build your own, customize your own car, get your own style in there and everything like that. It's just frustrating. It really is. Other than that, what's it like? It's good. It's honestly, it got a lot of flack, and rightly so for a lot of things. The way they released it, absolutely, yeah, like it wasn't good off the bat. But they put out a very small update. They changed the way VIP works. I am a sucker. I'm an idiot. I did get the Ultimate Edition. Just the thought of missing out on any cars is really bothers me. And I know the Ultimate Edition doesn't include the VIP car pass. Well, sure. However. So, let's see how it... What should we look at? So, I would like to do all the kind of in-depth things and all that, like look at all the details of it, but again, just the game crashes, unfortunately. So, starting from the home, let's see. We've got the prize crates. So, that's the problem that everybody's talking about, these prize crate things. I don't particularly see a massive issue. It is annoying that a lot of the cars, like, typical for me, my favourite car in the whole game, in the whole world, is the Nissan S14 Zenki. It's literally just, it's my favourite car. I would own one in real life if I could afford it. Above anything else, a Lamborghini or Ferrari, that I'd like an S14 Silver. It is locked behind like these crates and a couple of other things basically, and it's just very frustrating. So let's see if what basically what we're talking about here. So I've got a couple of nearly 1 million. I will just do chance for super rare items, right? 100,000 mixed crate, mixed advanced crate. Let's just see what we get. You buy it for 1,000 credits. It costs in-game money, from what I can see. I'm not sure if you can buy... I don't think you can buy them with real money. But we see what we get here. Tough brake, ABS on, plus 30% credits. Subaru outfit. Oh, not bad. 30% credits. 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 Nissan GTR Black Edition. But yeah, so that's basically the crates things. It's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because obviously they're locking cars behind it. And I'm pretty sure most people don't care about the badges and the driver gear and that kind of thing. It's just bothers a lot of people that the cars are locked behind there. The other thing is the mod. So you might have seen there the ABS on plus 30% credit boost. So I've got a couple of them here. As you can see, I haven't used any of them yet. I've been saving it up until I get kind of like races that I think they'd work well in. If you don't know, long story short, these are perishable or kind of consumable boosts essentially to your race. So you can apply them before the race, up to 3 mods at a time. And for that race or those 5 races, or just like you see down the bottom there, 5 uses, 3 uses, 1 use. That's what you get basically. So if I was to attach a VIP reward, in my next race, I would get 100% credit. I'd get double the credit. Then if I add on this, if I apply this, the game will be set to full simulation damage and rewinds off. And for that, I'll get plus 2000 XP and plus 80% credit. I'm sure you get the gist. I think the problem was that they were kind of one-time uses, or like, again, I don't know the ins and outs of it, because I just kind of, when I seen the state that it launched in, I was very frustrated, and I kind of like just ignored it kind of. I'll tell you what, I'll come back, I'll edit this, I'll cut it here, and I will come back after I've looked up and seen what the problem was. Okay, I got it, I remember now. They were, basically these mod things were unlimited uses apparently when you were a VIP member in Forza 6, I think it was, Forza 5 or Forza 6, I presume Forza 6. And now that they have these uses, these like they're consumables that you can use basically and lose after that. That's basically like once you use those, that's your VIP membership out the window essentially for these mod things in particular. And the fact that it wasn't actually disclosed. They weren't told in the description for the VIP membership thing. It just wasn't disclosed basically. You weren't told that they were going to be perishable, which is kind of it was very misleading. So that's, I can understand that. The mods, but I think the mods themselves, I don't think anybody has an issue with, because I'm trying to think if I've seen anybody complain about the idea of mods themselves. I think they're a brilliant idea. I think it's really cool. It's a really good idea, like a good way to kind of earn extra credits and extra XP and that kind of thing. Very cool. And again, the fact that they come from prize crates, which don't cost real money yet, I will say, yet. It's absolutely possible, and like very likely, in fact, with a company like Microsoft, who like historically have been known as M and $ for the S, like, it's not unheard of. It won't be unheard of, I wouldn't say, if they were to introduce the ability to pay for these. Yeah, that's the 2 big main things. Otherwise, the multiplayer, the fact that there's like hoppers or whatever they're called, you can't just go in and like the olden days kind of just set up a drift lobby and just name it like drift lobby or door to door or tandems or missile bash or whatever. It blows my mind. It's just really strange. Like the only options here are like, I have to have one of these cars, or like what? Like I don't get how it works. Like, are you telling me that the only way to play online now is to join these, like, I have to either compete in a muscle car race, a modern hot hatch race, a historic race, a supercar race, or a track toy race? Like, you can't, with the exception of setting up a private match and inviting friends, you can't just go online and drift with people. It's just so bizarre to me. It seems really, really strange. The thing that bothers me personally is just these coming soon things. It's just, finish your game. Like, finish the game. Why is there a coming soon? Auction house, coming soon. What? Marketplace, coming soon. Like, no, not coming soon. Finish, add, then release the game. The game, full game with all everything in it should be coming soon. Like, that's an entirely different issue from fixing bugs or everything. Bugs and glitches bound to happen. Yes, this game is just clearly never passed through a QR kind of, or QA as they call it. Passed by the looks of it. Like the amount of bugs and glitches and just silly, strange choices that just don't seem like they should ever have been there in the first place. That's a different thing. That's like bugs and glitches that you kind of nowadays, unfortunately, expect to be in a game after the launch. But like, not big features like leagues. Not big features like the Forzathon events that they had throughout Forza Horizon 3. Not big features like the, the auction house, like, and in the marketplace, which I'm presuming is like where you buy car packs or something like that, but that's not a big deal or whatever. Not too worried about that, but definitely, certainly the auction house and like the leagues and the Forzathon events just haven't coming soon in the game. It's just like, I'd almost rather they didn't put anything there, to be honest. Like, yeah, that's the main thing. So that's the home. The Forza Drivers Cup, obviously, it's kind of your classic story mode. Start off as a beginner, racing low-powered cars, move all the way up. You unlock cars again. A lot of the cars that you can get in the game are locked behind winning races and and winning events in that game mode. That's cool. Free play, bit round and about, bit awkward. Not overly fantastically impressed with the way that you set up games and all. Like, you get here and you're like, oh, okay, right. Oh, right. Like, you try to go down, like I pressed down here, and it's gone over to setup. But yeah, the way you can set up the race, Like, again, like the whole idea of like, oh, there's no pick a track or pick a car. It's like race setup. Oh, I guess this is where tracks is. Oh, I can only do one version of Top Gear or Virginia Raceway. Blah, blah, blah. No. X track select. That's where you pick the detailed ones. It's just really poor UI choices. Like, I seen a post on Reddit where somebody was like, if I can bring in the mouse again, like, oh yeah, don't worry about all this empty space over here, and like, yeah, don't worry about all this empty space over here. I guess that's like where they have the car, and that's kind of cool, but UI not overly mind blown with it, to be honest. Driver gear, driver car, driver tar difficulty even. That's all fine. You're tuning upgrades. I don't know why test drive is blanked out here. It's usually not. Maybe it's because I'm on this airfield thing. What if I pick somewhere else? Silverstone National. And you've got your advanced rules and your car restrictions and all that. It's just weird. Like the race length, you have to set race length to a time, or I guess you can test drive, which must give you maybe test drive. Why is it blanked out? That's really weird. But yeah, also like they're kind of forcing the mods and price rates on you. I say forcing again. I don't have a particular issue, but it's just weird having them there in the pre-race thing. Well, maybe mods I understand, but having like sticking price crates before you enter a race, like, it's just a bit weird. To me personally, I should specify. But yeah, I guess while we're in here, we can have a look at the circuits that we do have. We've got Mount Panorama Circuit, which is more commonly known as Bathurst. We've Bernese Alps, introduced in Forza 4, I believe. Brands Hatch, Circuit de Catalunya, Circuit de Americas for a couple of Formula 1 tracks. In Daytona International Speedway, the Dubai kind of original map that they made up for this game. Hockenheimring, the F1 map, Homestead, which I believe is a oval, yeah. Indianapolis, Le Mans, Lime Rock, Long Beach. Long Beach is great crack. It's so much fun. I'm so bad at it in a settled course, but I'm actually fairly okay at this in this game. Sorry. Maple Valley is back. That's good to see. Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca, or just Laguna Seca if you're a normal person. We have Monza, Mugello, Nürburgring, obviously Nordschleife, and the Nürburgring GP. Are they in here together? Yeah. GP circuit, Nordschleife, full circuit, and yeah, GP circuit. So Prague, so obviously introduced in 5, I think it was, Forza 5. Rio de Janeiro, introduced in 6, as far as I know, the original track for Forza 6. Road America, Road Atlanta, Sebring, Silverstone, Sonoma, Spa, Suzuka, Test Track Airfield. Very irritatingly not open. It kind of gives you false indications that it's open. Like, it kind of has a semi-open layout where you don't have to follow the exact track. You can kind of take different lines and longer lines or shorter lines, cut through different places, but it's just, yeah, it's not an open track. It's the first time that I think we've had a Forza that didn't have like an open benchmark layout A type test track, which is a shame. I don't see why not, but we have Top Gear. Top Gear is back with a bunch of different layouts. Reverse as well. Virginia International Raceway, which I haven't actually tried yet. I'm guessing that's obviously an American kind of track. We have Watkins Glen, and finally Yas Marina. So, kind of good mix of tracks. We're just missing a load. I can't believe I'm playing a Forza game without a Suzuka, or not Suzuka, a Tsukuba, and just a couple of other tracks from the olden days that I would have really liked coming back into the game. So we head back out to the menu. There's a load of stuff that I would like to show you, obviously, but again, it's like the paints and the customizing and the upgrades and all that kind of thing. I would like to even look through some of the cars and kind of talk about maybe the way the cars kind of, like, you can explode them. I'll just do it really quickly, but I just don't want the game to crash, basically. Just say, for example, you can press X if you're on an Xbox controller to explode the car, which is very cool. There is serious lag, which is the annoying thing on this menu. Now, it still has, I was talking about earlier on, like, I don't understand how they didn't learn their lesson from Forza Horizon 3, where that launched and it had this super, like, horribly laggy, like literally a full second in between pressing the button and having the action happen on the screen. I don't understand how they didn't learn from that. It's not as bad as that, but it's certainly not as good as like it could be, or as instant and smooth as something like Forza 4 was. I don't know if that's having all the details of the fully modeled car twirling like this, circle, like going around in a circle like this, as opposed to obviously Forza just back in the olden days just having the pictures. But whatever they do, I really hope that they update that, because it's very irritating. But the car selection is great. I'm not going to go through them all. I would like to and kind of walk through some of my favourites or whatever like that, but it really does cause the memory leak issue, which is unfortunate. And then there's the specialty dealer, which is another feature. So, has it changed? No, it hasn't changed. So if you see up here, for another 4 days, I have the opportunity to buy these cars to add to my collection. Also, another problem I just noticed there, sometimes it'll double press. So even though I'm only pressing once, it'll double press down to the bottom one. But yeah, I don't know if this is the only way to acquire these cars, or if they will come back again, or if they'll show up in a different, like, in some other way, if you can win them or what. It kind of makes me nervous. Like, I'd really like to buy this Nissan and maybe this Mazda and test them out for drifters, at least a Mazda. But I'm like, 400,000 credits, 64,000, like, I'm not 100% certain about how much I want to spend, you know, kind of way. And I'm just wondering, like, I don't think I've seen anywhere or read anywhere if they'll come back, if this is a one-time deal, or if it's going to take weeks for them to come back. Like, 4 days is a long time. I think it was like 5 or 6 days, or even a week I think it's like a weekly rotation by the looks of it, which is not ideal to say the least. Like, I don't want to be waiting 5 days to get my next car. Imagine you're waiting for a car really badly that's only going to be on this rotation, and you have to wait a week, and then the week comes along, because as far as I know, we don't know what's going to be on them. Like, we don't know what cars are going to be in the rotation, so that's kind of annoying. Like, you wait for a week, nothing. You wait for another week, nothing, and then you just like, it really would put you off. Like, then there's the car collection, which is the whole kind of your tiers and all that. I'm not super stoked on this, I'm not gonna lie. I do understand that it adds in the element of kind of ownership and making you feel pride in your collection and building up your collection, and makes it feel kind of like you earned them or whatever like that. But it's just a load of hassle. Like, I just want to be able to buy the cars. It was bad enough back in like the olden Forza 4 days, when it was just your limitations were how much money you had. Like, if you didn't have enough money, you just couldn't buy it. Like, I could never afford something like the 250 GTO. I think it was like 25 million or something like that. In the early days, at least, I ended up making a couple of paint jobs and that kind of thing, and that earned me a lot of money. But like, for the longest time, I just couldn't get them because they're too expensive. And that was bad enough without all of these limitations now. Like, I'm only on tier 4 now, so I'm on the super rare, so I can still buy these. But tier 5 legendary, so if I want to get, I think it's the Formula 1 Lotus Renault even. Yeah, the Renault RS17. I would love to drive that. I would love to take that out on a test drive or rent it or something like that, but it's locked. Why can't I buy this car right now? Every car belongs in a collection tier, blah, 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 blah. I'm not on tier 5, basically. It's not that hard. I'm almost onto tier 5. Like, it's only 8,000 collector score. It's not impossible to get there. It's just, I would like to... I don't love that idea. Other things that I haven't actually tested out yet, just haven't had the time, I literally only bought it last night and I was in work all day today, was Rivals, which is, if I remember from Forza Horizon 3, it's just like all these kind of set goals, or events if you want to call them that, where it's basically just like you kind of compete against your friends, and like, say for example, just compete with a rival ghost car in timed events where you must also skillfully avoid other drivers on the track. Beat your rival across the line and the game will notify them when you win. I'm imagining that you get credits and whatever for doing these, but I think the whole thing about it is bragging rights, where you come in, sign in, and see your message center, and it's like, where is it? Rivals, yeah. It'd be like, oh, 420 Blazed has crushed your score of 137 minutes and 69 seconds on like whatever track, the Nürburgring 50 laps or whatever. Yeah, but that's kind of the Rivals thing. Driver gear is a cool idea. I'm not particularly fussed. I don't know if this leads into the... Oh, the Ken Block suit. Cool. Climb Cano one. I don't know if this leads into the memory leak issue, so I'm not going to spend a load of time on it, but these are the ones that I've upgraded, or that I've unlocked already in my short amount of time, so that's kind of cool. You can see that you get them fairly quickly if you're getting, yeah, just you get them fairly quickly. The multiplayer aspect, again, leagues being locked. The Forza gallery, as you'd imagine, pictures. The Forza TV is videos and replays that you can upload. I think that's a cool idea. I haven't seen it. I haven't checked any of them out yet. I haven't seen if it's a good idea or a bad idea yet. Forza Hub obviously opens up the Forza Hub, and then we go back to cars, and then progress. The rewards are kind of cool. You can choose every time you level up. You get, just by the looks of it, 20,000 credits so far for at least the first 3 levels. You get the 20,000 credit for leveling up, and then you also get to choose between either an additional 50,000 credits, by the looks of it, a car at either a discounted price or for free, or like a driver gear, basically. So for this one, my next level, I'm going to get to choose between either taking 50,000, the Mercedes MBG65, or I'm guessing MB is Mercedes-Benz. Duh. Yeah, so I can get a discount, and it'll over 100,000 credits basically, and it'll cost me 80,000 credits. Sorry, and that'll give me plus 325 of the tier car collection tier thing. Cool idea. Just throwing more rewards at you. I can always get behind that. The game runs surprisingly well. It does. It actually runs surprisingly well, considering I'm on 1080p, unlocked, 100%, 16 times anisotropic filtering, motion blur off. Everything on high and full, basically, with 2 times MSAA. I probably could bump that up to 4 times. The track quality texture to medium, and reflection quality to medium, because I set those to medium while I was testing things out, and they're not that important to me. The track texture when you're doing like 200 miles an hour is not terribly important. Yeah, there's that. The controllers are very good. I was very happy that I was able to customize these. I have my flight stick as my handbrake. I have my my accelerator on accelerate button, brake on the brake button, clutch on the clutch button, my gear shifter all works, the wheel works. I'm fairly sure it's recommended that from T10 themselves that you play this game at 270 degrees. It's just bad at 900. It is just terrible at 900 degrees. Like, I'm sorry, but it just really is. Like, I don't know if that's intended or if there's ever going to be any kind of changes to that, but it's just an awful game to play at 900 degrees. But 270, playing it the way I used to play it on my Microsoft wireless racing wheel with just the 270 degrees rotation, feels fairly similar. Like, I'm still working on the exact settings, but just it feels good to me. That's basically all I can say on that. Like, it's can use some tweaking, some settings, more time put into it, but it feels good to me. So what I will do now is go in and actually show off some gameplay, would you believe? So I've got my car, I've got my Nissan R32. I'm going to just stick it on, say, I don't know, what's a track that I'm familiar with? We go back to Silverstone Raceway, yeah. Oh, see, Forza Habit, Racing Circuit, National, and we go to race. Again, it's interesting, like once you've pressed race, like you can kind of still change and upgrade and tune and everything like that in the menu. That's pretty cool. Free tune, by the way, if you're watching. Here's my tune for my R32. It's rough and quick and just based on what I vaguely remember from back in the day. Back on Forza 4, so I don't know if any of this even applies. But here, have at it. It's what I have it set to at the moment. The game loads very quickly. It was just something that I've noticed that's really cool. I have it installed on my SSD, which is obviously to be expected. We can test drive here. I'll actually do test drive for the first time. Drive in an open drive. Yeah, okay. So here we are at the bridge in Silverstone. It's mind-blowing to me how different it looks. I know obviously the real Silverstone got remodeled and redid and everything, but it's just crazy how it's like same, but different, but still same. Like, if anybody's seen The Dictator, I hope that reference will land. But what I thought I'd do is just kind of do a couple of runs, FMDL style, 50 roll. I've lost the little fence gap that used to be on the right hand side. That's been my reference for years. But I'll try and not be terrible. Oh, I'm terrible. Yeah, oh, it's bad. Yeah, my wheel definitely just doesn't feel right. Like, it's not 100%. Like, I feel like I shouldn't have center and spring, but then also I like the feeling of center and spring, so I lowered it, and then I hired it, and then I got rid of it, and then I think I need to just lower it again, have it be there, but just a bit lower. Because the car just feels, or like it just feels very, like, mushy or something like that. It's good, like, the force feedback is there. It's not like the issues that I had with Forza Horizon and Apex, where there just was no force feedback. It's definitely there. It's definitely having an effect. It's just not set up 100%. So yeah, I'll go for another run. But yeah, this is basically just show off the first impressions. Like, I like the feel of it. I like the physics. I spent ages last night. I actually was much later to bed than I should have been. Oh, 50-year-old. I was much later to bed than I should have been, considering I had work today. But yeah, like, that should tell you something. Like, just spending a couple of laps on Long Beach. Why do I suck so bad at that first corner? Yeah, that was just great crack. And the sounds, like, the sounds of the cars are fantastic. I know that's a thing that it's getting hated on a lot for, and that's probably true about a lot of the other cars, but I've tried so far this R32 and the Subaru, Fast and Furious Subaru BRZ, and they just sound incredible. Whether they sound accurate or not, I don't know. They might not sound accurate to the real cars, but they sound raspy. Like, one of the things that I always hated about the Forza 4 car sound design was that they were very... Oh, can I say this? No, I'm off. Was that they were very kind of... What's the word for it? Neutered or something like that? There was no character in them or something. These are just like super raspy and loud and aggressive and kind of... It sounds like the microphone was just stuck right into the exhaust and into the engine. Like, it's just super distorted or something like that, but in a good way. Like, overdrive, I think is the word I'm looking for. It just sounds like so much more not realistic, but just real compared to the ones in the older games. Like, but yeah, it's gonna take me a long time to get my Forza groove back. Not that I was ever particularly good, but like, I was better than this for sure. But yeah, that's just kind of a quick first look kind of thing. It's going to be all edited and chopped up because I made a bunch of mistakes and all. As obviously, I haven't made a long-term kind of long-form video in a while. But yeah, just the first look. I just touched on some of the things that I liked, some of the things that I didn't like. Didn't cover everything by far because a lot of it's just are things that I haven't uncovered yet, or things that I haven't found to be particular issues. Like, there's a lot of things that are specific to people that like to race and play online and stuff like that that I just wouldn't have uncovered yet. I just know as a drifter, for the most part, it's been great crack so far, and I can see it being great crack in the future if I can get good, basically. Hopefully, I've mentioned on Twitter that I was looking to get the game mainly because I remember that it's or that I came across seeing that it's cross-platform, so I can play with all the old people again. Anybody that's playing it, even though I'm on PC, I should be able to play with them, which is good. if anybody's still around, that is. I know Keenan, I know Mr. Aero HD is digging the game as far as I know. So, might try and get on with himself. But that's it. Crap drifting aside. Oh, also, they took away all the body kits for the R32. It made me sad. There's just like 2 horrible ricey Nissan branded kits, and they're just awful. Like, so yeah, that's a minor gripe. Yeah, there'll almost certainly be more Forza videos as I get better. You better believe Will It Drift and the Road Less Travel is coming back. That's a big announcement for the end of the video. I just thought I'd mention it. I thought I should clarify. If this kind of if they work out this memory leak issue, as soon as they do, I'll start getting in, testing out different random cars. You've got a great variation in cars in this game. That's the one great thing about it. There's just so much variation, all random race cars and trucks and Baja trucks and everything. Like, let's see if they'll drift. Let's see, and like all the new tracks that are new to me at least. A lot of them are probably familiar from the older games like Rio and whatever like that. But there's a lot of new tracks to me that I can check out. See if there's any roads that have been less travelled, shall we say? But that's about it. It's a longer video. If you enjoyed it, I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please do leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.